Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Mind Room podcast, where real people have real conversations about the struggles we usually hide. I'm your host, Dr. David Rex Orgen. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. When was the last time you felt truly rested? I'm not asking about sleep for 8 hours. I'm simply talking about feeling refreshed in your mind, peaceful in your heart, hopeful about tomorrow. For many people listening today, the answer is probably I can't remember. Friend, you wake up so tired. You go through your day tired. You smile while you are even tired. You care for your family while you are tired. You go to church, attend meetings, go to work, and fulfill your responsibilities. But inside you, something feels different. The joy you once had isn't there anymore. The excitement you once felt has faded away. You're functioning, but you're no longer flourishing. You're surviving, but you're no longer living. That is what psychologists often describe as emotional fatigue. Emotional fatigue doesn't happen in one single day. It develops over time quietly. One disappointment at first, one sleepless night at a time, one financial burden at a time, one family responsibility at a time, one unanswered prayer at a time, until just one day you suddenly realize, I am so tired, and it's not just my body. I often said the greatest exhaustion in life is not always physical. Sometimes it is carrying emotional burdens that nobody else can see. Can I share with you a story? A story about James. James was 46-year-old man, very respected professional, a loving husband to his beloved wife, and a devoted father to the children. From the outside, everyone admired James. People often say, James has everything together. But what people saw wasn't the whole story. Behind the smiles was a man slowly becoming emotionally exhausted. For months, he had been carrying responsibilities without giving himself permission to rest. Work pressures were increasing all the time. His elderly mother had become ill for some time now. Financial commitments were growing over time. He wasn't sleeping well in the night because of all these mental toll. He stopped going to the gym for regular exercises. He stopped talking about how he felt to people. He convinced himself, I will get through this. But just one evening, he arrived home emotionally drained. His little boy, Danny, accidentally spilled a glass of juice. It was a simple accident, but James reacted as though something much bigger had happened that night. He shouted, yelled, his son burst into tears. Even his wife quietly didn't understand, but cleaned the floor. The house became so silent. Later that evening, James sat alone and asked himself these questions. Why? Why did I react that way? The spilled milk juice wasn't the problem. His son wasn't the problem either. His emotions, reserves were empty. Most of unprocessed stress, fear, disappointment, lack of rest, and constant responsibility had finally overflowed. And his family didn't experience his real problem. They experienced the overflow of his emotional fatigue. Perhaps someone listening today recognize yourself as James. Maybe, just maybe, you become impatient with the people you love so much. Not because you love them less, but because you've been carrying more than your heart was designed to carry. Now, the question is, what is emotional fatigue? Let me break it down. Emotional fatigue is simply language. Physical tiredness is usually relieved by sleep. Emotional fatigue is different. You can sleep all night and still wake up so exhausted. Why? Because emotional fatigue is not just about your body. It affects your mind, your emotions, your motivation, even your hope. Imagine carrying a backpack that has everything in the day at your back. At first, it feels manageable. Then someone adds another book, then another and another. Eventually, you're still walking, but every step feels heavier for you. Life becomes the same way. Every disappointment adds weight. Every unresolved conflict adds weight. Every financial struggle adds another weight. Every caregiving responsibility adds weight. Every disappointment adds weight. Eventually, your emotional backpack becomes so heavy that even small problems feel overwhelming. That's why someone who is emotionally fatigued may become irritable, withdrawn, anxious, or lose interest in all the things they once loved. The real issue isn't the small event that just happened today. The real issue is the emotional weight that has been building for many months or even years. Now, that's why I encourage people to stop asking this wrong question. What is wrong with me? But rather learn to ask, what have I become carrying for too long? The question changes everything, because emotional fatigue isn't a sign that you are weak. It may simply be a sign that you've been strong for too long without taking time to heal. Your mind was never designed to carry unlimited emotional weight, friend. Even the strongest heart needs some rest, because emotional fatigue isn't a sign that you are weak. It may be a sign that you've been strong for a long time. Your mind was never designed to carry unlimited emotional weight. Even the strongest heart needs some rest. So, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you felt truly rested? I'm not talking about sleeping, because everybody can sleep. Now, let's move on. Healing begins with honesty. Healing begins with honesty. As we come to the next phase, I need you to know this. If your body becomes seriously ill today, would you ignore it? For most of us, would not. We would see a doctor, take medications, rest, and follow the treatment the doctor would give us. Yet when our minds and emotions become exhausted, many of us do the exact opposite. We keep working as if nothing has happened. We keep pretending as if it will go away by itself. We keep smiling as if we already have a resolution. We keep telling everyone, I'm fine, whilst we know within ourselves that it is not the truth. Until one day our body continue moving, but our heart have stopped enjoying life. Friend, healing begins the moment honesty begins. Instead of just simply saying, I am just tired, perhaps you need to say, I am overwhelmed. Instead of just saying, everything is okay, perhaps you need to admit, I have been carrying too much load. Instead of pretending to be strong, my friend, allow yourself to become real for once. For one of the greatest lessons I have learned as a counselor is this: you cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. Honesty is not weakness. Just simply telling the truth is admitting that you need help. Honesty is the doorway of healing. Now, I'd like to give you 5 practical steps to recover from emotional fatigue. If someone emotionally exhausted today, let me leave with you 5 practical steps. First, I need you to give yourself permission to take time to rest. Resting is a medicine. Many people feel guilty for even taking some time off to rest. They believe productivity is the measure of their value. Friend, nobody has promised you tomorrow. Today is all that you got. So take some time to rest. Don't live in a lie that you always say that rest is not laziness. As some people may want you to believe. Rest is renewal of strength. Your mind was created with limits. There's nothing that we call unlimited mind. Even God established the principle of Sabbath. And Sabbath is all about rest. Rest is not a reward after you finish everything. Some would want to complete chores before they sit to rest. Rest is part of how you remain healthy enough to continue. Second step, stop carrying everything else alone. Friend, stop carrying everything alone. Some burdens are simply too heavy for one person. Talk to someone like we're having this conversation now. A trusted friend, a spouse, a mentor, a counselor, your pastor. For healing grows in safe conversations. Yes, sometimes the breakthrough you are praying for begins with one honest conversation. Third, care for your body, because your body and mind work together. Sleep consistently, drink enough water, exercise regularly, eat nourishing food, spend time outside. Your brain is an organ. Walk in the parks. When you are able to do that, it will change the rhythm. When you care for your body, your strength and your emotion becomes well again. Never underestimate the healing power of sleep, movement, and healthy routines. Fourth, reconnect with what gives your life meaning. Yes, emotional fatigue narrows our vision. We begin seeing only our problems and the things that we need to fix. Our purpose lifts our eyes beyond today's pain. Then ask yourself, what still gives my life meaning? Who will need your encouragement? Yes. What gift has God placed inside you? What dreams have you neglected because you've been so busy surviving instead of living. Purpose does not remove pain. Again, purpose does not remove pain, but it gives pain a direction. Finally, reconnect with your Maker, God. There are burdens too heavy for human shoulders. Some worries cannot be solved by positive thinking alone. They must be surrendered to the one who created you, the one who gave you the blueprint, the one who has the manufacturer warranty. Prayer is not escaping reality. Prayer is inviting God's strength into your reality, the things that you are going through. I have watched people discover peace, not because their circumstances change overnight, but because God's presence changed the way they carried those circumstances. The good book says, "Come unto me, all of you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Now, what does the Bible say about emotional fatigue? Permit me to speak as a pastor. One of my favorite passages is found in Matthew chapter 11, 28 to 30, where Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice who Jesus invited. Not the one who is successful, not the perfect one, not the people who had everything together, but rather he invited the weary, the burdened, the exhausted, the emotional tired. He didn't say, "Come after you fix all your problems." He simply said, "Come." Throughout scripture, we have seen faithful people who became emotionally exhausted, like Moses became overwhelmed by leadership, like David poured out his tears in the Psalms, like the prophet Jeremiah became so discouraged. Elijah, after one of the greatest victories of his ministry, became so exhausted that he wanted to give up. But what God did do, he didn't begin with a lecture, but God provided a rest, food, sleep, and his divine presence. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is slow down long enough for God to restore your soul back again. Let me speak as a father. Before we close, allow me to speak to you from my heart. Some of you have been carrying everything else and everyone's burdens for far too long, and you have forgotten that it feels like to be carried or cared for yourself. You've been the strongest one in the family. You're always depended upon. You solve people's problems. You are the encourager and chief. But even strong people become tired. If that's you today, hear these words. You don't have to prove your worth by exhausting yourself. Your value does not come from how much you do. Your value comes from who you are. Don't wait until your body forces you to stop. Choose to rest before life stops you. Choose healing before burnout chooses you. And always remember, you cannot give peace to others if you have lost your own peace. Your weekly challenge. This week, I want you to give yourself one intentional hour. Turn off your phone. Step away from work. Find a quiet place and ask yourself these three questions. What has been draining me emotionally? What do I need to let go of? And what one healthy habit can I begin this week to restore my emotional strength again? Then write one sentence at the bottom of the page. My healing begins today. Look at this. Small decisions made consistently create lasting transformation. In closing, I will say, Thank you for spending this moment with me in the Mind Room podcast. If this message or conversation spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, like, share it with someone who may be silently carrying emotional burdens. You never know how one conversation can become the beginning of someone's healing. As we live today, remember this: emotional fatigue is not a sign that you are weak. It is often a sign that you have been strong far too long without giving yourself permission to heal. And I want to leave you with the words that guide our every episode of the Mind Room podcast. Take care of your mind, because your mind shapes your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your choices. Your choices shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. Until next time, guard your mind, protect your peace, choose rest before burnout, choose healing before hiding, choose hope over hopelessness, and never stop becoming the person God created you to be. I am Dr. David Rex Orgen. May the Lord bless you, strengthen you, refresh your heart, renew your mind, and remind you that no matter how tired you feel today, there is hope, there's healing, and there is always a new beginning. Thank you for listening to the Mind Room podcast. Take care of your mind. God bless you. Bye-bye.